Last time, Samson became a legend. For 20 years, he ruled as judge of Israel. He killed 1,000 men with a jawbone. He carried away the gates of Gaza. He was unstoppable, invincible. But every hero has a weakness, and Samson's weakness was about to walk into his life. This is episode 3 of 6 in the story of Samson and Delilah. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, the full playlist is in the description below. I recommend starting from episode 1 to get the complete story. If you enjoy epic and dramatic stories, like this video and follow the channel so you don't miss the next chapters of this saga. 20 years. That's how long Samson had been judge of Israel. 20 years of chaos, 20 years of war, 20 years of the Philistines living in fear of one man. They had tried everything to stop him. Armies, ambushes, traps. Nothing worked. Samson was too strong, too fast, too unpredictable. He would disappear for months, then suddenly appear in a Philistine city, kill dozens of soldiers, and vanish again. He was a ghost, a demon, a force of nature they couldn't control. The Philistine lords, the 5 rulers who governed the major cities, were desperate. They held council after council, trying to figure out how to stop him. "We can't beat him in battle," one said. "We've tried. He's too strong." Then we find another way. Another replied, "Everyone has a weakness. We just need to find his." And they had noticed something, a pattern. Samson's weakness wasn't in combat, it was in bed. He couldn't stay away from women, especially Philistine women. First, there was his wife in Timnah. That ended in disaster. Then the prostitute in Gaza. And now there were rumors. Samson had been seen in the Valley of Sorek with a woman, the same woman, multiple times. The Valley of Sorek was dangerous territory. It sat on the border between Israelite and Philistine land, neutral ground, a place where people from both sides could meet without drawing too much attention. And in that valley lived a woman named Delilah. We don't know much about her. The text doesn't say if she was Philistine or Israelite, doesn't say if she was married or single, doesn't even describe what she looked like. But we know this: she was magnetic, captivating, the kind of woman who could make a man forget everything else. And Samson was obsessed with her. He started visiting her regularly, not hiding it, not being careful, just showing up at her house like he had nothing to fear, because in his mind he didn't. He was Samson, the strongest man alive. Who could touch him? The Philistine lords heard about these visits, and they saw an opportunity. They sent messengers to Delilah, discreetly, quietly, and they made her an offer. A meeting was arranged, Delilah's house, late at night. She opened the door to find 5 men standing there. Not soldiers, not guards, the lords themselves, the most powerful men in Philistine territory. Their presence alone told her this was serious. They didn't waste time with pleasantries. "We know Samson comes here," one of them said. "We know he trusts you." Delilah said nothing, just waited. "We want you to do something for us," another continued. "Find out the secret of his strength. Learn how we can overpower him, how we can tie him up and subdue him." Delilah's eyes narrowed. "And what do I get out of this?" The Lord smiled. "Each of us will give you 1,100 shekels of silver." Delilah did the math instantly. 5 lords, 1,100 shekels each. That was 5,500 shekels total. It was more money than most people would see in a lifetime. Enough to live like royalty. Enough to never work again. Enough to disappear and start a new life anywhere she wanted. She looked at the 5 lords standing in her doorway, looked at the pouches of silver they carried, and she made her choice. "I'll do it." The lords nodded. "Good. Find out his secret. When you do, send word. We'll take care of the rest." They left as quietly as they'd come, and Delilah closed the door, her mind already working. How do you get a man like Samson to reveal his deepest secret? You make him think it's a game. Days passed. Samson came to visit again, relaxed and unsuspecting. Delilah welcomed him like she always did, warm, affectionate. But this time she was watching him differently, studying him, looking for cracks in his armor. They talked, laughed, drank wine. And as the evening wore on, Delilah steered the conversation exactly where she wanted it. "You're so strong," she said casually, running her hand along his arm. "I've heard the stories. Everyone has. But I've always wondered, where does it come from?" Samson smiled. "It's a gift." "A gift from who?" she asked, her voice light and curious, not pressing, just interested. "From God," Samson said simply. "I was dedicated to him before I was born." Delilah filed that information away. Dedicated. "What does that mean?" "It means I follow certain rules," Samson said. "I don't eat certain foods, I don't drink certain things, and I don't cut my hair." Delilah's fingers moved to his hair, long and thick, falling past his shoulders. She ran her fingers through it slowly. "Never?" she asked. "Never," Samson confirmed. "It's part of my vow." Delilah smiled, but inside her mind was racing. His hair, that was it. That had to be it. But she couldn't just ask directly. That would be too obvious. She needed to be subtle, patient, make him think he was in control. So instead, she changed tactics. She leaned in close, her voice dropping to a whisper. "Tell me something," she said. "If someone wanted to capture you, how would they do it? What would it take to make you weak?" Samson laughed. "Why? You planning to tie me up?" "Maybe," she said playfully. "I'm just curious. What would it take?" Samson looked at her, still smiling, still thinking this was just flirting, just a game. "If someone tied me with 7 fresh bowstrings that have never been dried," he said, "I'd become as weak as any other man." Delilah raised an eyebrow. "That's it? Just bowstrings?" "That's it," Samson said. Of course he was lying, but Delilah didn't know that, not yet. She kissed him and let the conversation drift to other things. But when Samson fell asleep later that night, she didn't sleep. She waited until his breathing was deep and steady. Then she got up quietly, opened the door, and stepped outside. One of the Philistine messengers was waiting in the shadows as arranged. Delilah whispered Samson's answer. 7 fresh bowstrings, never dried. The messenger nodded and disappeared into the night. The next evening, the Philistines delivered what she needed: 7 thick bowstrings made from fresh animal sinew, still wet and strong. Delilah hid them in her house and waited for Samson to return. He came the following night, relaxed and unsuspecting. They ate together, drank wine, talked. And when Samson eventually fell asleep on her couch, Delilah moved quickly. She took the 7 bowstrings and wrapped them around his arms, his chest, his wrists, tied them tight, secured the knots. When she was finished, Samson was completely bound. If what he'd said was true, he was helpless now, weak, vulnerable. Delilah stepped back and took a breath. Then she shouted, "Samson! The Philistines are here!" Samson's eyes shot open instantly. He jerked awake, his body tensing for a fight. And the bowstrings snapped, just like that, like breaking spider webs. They fell to the floor in pieces, completely useless. Samson sat up, looking around the room, confused and alert. Where are they? Where are the Philistines? Delilah forced a laugh, though her heart was pounding. "I was joking," she said quickly. "I wanted to see what you'd do. I wanted to test if what you said was true." Samson relaxed, shaking his head. "You scared me," he said. But he was smiling. He thought it was funny, thought it was harmless. He had no idea what was really happening. Delilah smiled back, But inside, she was frustrated. He lied. He lied to her face, which meant he didn't trust her. Not yet. But that was okay. She was patient. She could play this game as long as it took. After Samson left that night, Delilah sent another message to the Philistine lords. He lied. The bowstrings didn't work. I'll try again. The lords sent back a simple response. Keep going. We'll pay you when it's done. So Delilah did. She kept going. She kept playing the game. And Samson, confident and arrogant and completely unaware, kept coming back because he thought he was in control. He thought he was safe. He thought Delilah loved him. And that was his first mistake. Because Delilah didn't love him. She didn't even like him. She was working, and the Philistines were paying her a fortune to destroy him. The question wasn't if she would succeed. The question was how long it would take, and how many lies Samson would tell before he finally told the truth. But what Samson didn't know, what he couldn't see, was that every lie brought him closer to the truth. Every test made Delilah more determined. Every time he thought he was clever, he was actually walking deeper into the trap. And in the next episode, Delilah will ask again. She'll test him again and again. And with every attempt, Samson will get more confident, more careless, more convinced that he's smarter than everyone else. Until finally, exhausted and worn down and desperate to prove his love, he'll tell her the real secret. The one thing he should never, ever reveal. His hair. Turn on notifications to be notified when the next chapter is released. And if you have a friend who would enjoy this story, share this video. See you in the next chapter.